Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Breezy, and boy, are we feasting today. Today we got a handful of spoilers for the Runeblade class. There was a few Earth and things like that sprinkled in, but more importantly, at least for me, and I know so many of you out there, some generic, good old-fashioned Runeblade
support.
Now I'm talking some good stuff, so let's head over to Fabrary and check it all out. Here we are over at Fabrary at the spoilers page, and for all the cards that we're going to be talking about today, I will leave a link in the description for those content creators that did the spoiler video. So be sure to check those out, share them some love, give them some likes. It'll be much appreciated, I know it. So let's start off with Bloodtorn Bodice? Anyway, this is the chest piece. Gosh, I can't talk today. I'm just so excited. This is a chest piece that says destroy this and an aura you control, gain 1 resource, go again. Has a 0 block value, so it's not going to save you from any threatening on hits or anything, but it will give you a resource whenever you destroy it and an aura you control, which we're going to see a theme here. There's going to be a handful of cards that talk about destroying your own auras, and it's for good benefit too. On the surface though, outside of a limited format, I don't think that this is going to be replacing Tunic anytime soon. Artwork is beautiful. Love the theme that the Runeblade class is going with. Obviously, that's why I'm here. So yeah, but again, I think this is going to be an incredible chess piece to scoop up if you're leaning more towards the Runeblade class in your limited selections. So there you go. That's your Bloodtorn Bodice. Next up, we've got Splintering Deadwood, which was spoiled by good old Push the Point, our metalhead Runeblade lovers over there. This is a 3 cost 7 attack, 3 block that says when this attacks or hits, you may destroy an aura you control. If you do, create a rune chant token. This is like Runic Reclamation's younger brother, right? Or maybe it's like the same aged brother and there's some power creep going on because it's just a rare. I guarantee if this was printed back in the Everfest days, this would also be a majestic. I really like this card for the fact that it says when this attacks or hits. So allowing you some agency to make the call on when you want to, if you want to, destroy an aura that you control. And then also if you do that, you get to make a rune chant on top of everything. So the fact that this is a 7 attack is a great break point, at least in the red pitch. I don't know what right now today I would cut out of a typical Viserai deck in order to put this in. I think there's some tech here for sure, because think about like all the nasty auras that rangers and assassins give you. Those are auras under your control, so you could actually attack with this and then destroy that frailty token, inertia token, blood rot token, whatever, and then carry about your business without fear of that token anymore. So I think there's some tech calls with this card, but as like a staple every day in the list, never comes out. I don't know what would cut for this. Still, love the card nonetheless. All right, so next up we've got one of my favorite cards. I'm going to say that a lot. This is one of my favorite cards now. This is a 1 cost 3 block non-attack action card that says your next Runeblade attack this turn gains +3. This is the red pitch. It does trickle down as your pitch increases. You may destroy an aura you control. If you do, each opponent destroys an aura permanent they control. Again, another one of those tech cards. Not every one of your opponents is going to have auras themselves to destroy, but you know who does. Prism, or I guess just illusionists in general. Also, the heroes in this set are going to be carrying lots of auras in their deck. So if you destroy one of your auras, again, there's that theme of destroying one of your auras, each opponent destroys an aura they control. So they get to choose the aura that they do have to destroy. But say there's an Arc Knight Sentinel on the field, and for some weird reason that's the only aura that's in their possession, they would be forced to then destroy it. So there's a timing thing here. You don't want to plop this down when there's like 8 spectral shields and Genesis. Probably just go straight for the Genesis. Don't expect them to pick the Genesis. They're going to take the spectral shield every day of the week. So again, this is one of my favorite cards because it says your next Runeblade attack this turn, buffing our weapons. This costs 1. Oath of the Ark Knight is a similar non-attack action, but it costs 2, which is really handy for those 1 cost attack weapon swings. 1 cost weapon swings. This has some great synergy with Nebula Blade, which I'm hoping to bust back out onto the table soon because I absolutely love that card. So this would make Nebula Blade swing in for 7 on hit, make a rune chant token with a blue pitch. So it's pretty good. I just see this as a 3-cost 7 with on hit, make a rune chant. That's all I see this card as. I could easily run the blues of this card and still be just as happy with the red. All right, next up we've got Malefic Incantation, Ethan Mansant himself, the Runeblade lover, Viserai Stan himself. Malefic Incantation, this is one of his spoilers. It says it's a 0 cost and has go again. This enters the arena with 3 verse counters. When it has none, destroy it. Once per turn, when you play an attack action card, remove a verse counter from this. If you do, create a rune chant token. So this comes on with the 3 verse counters. The first thing I think of is playing this down, followed by a Swarming Gloomveil as Viserai. So this card itself is an aura. Swarming Gloomveil sees that. Mode number 1 checked. You've played the attack action. This makes a rune chant token. Mode number 2 checked. And if you're Viserai, mode number 3 comes in whenever the Viserai trigger happens, and you've now turned on Swarming Gloomveil very, very early on in the turn without jumping through any hoops, without spending any resources, and it's fantastic. Also, this card can be sought out by Sonata Galaxia, so we're loving to see that Sonata Galaxia, the Aura Seeker, is able to go out and find more stuff from your deck. I think this card is super, super, super cool, especially if you're just kind of stuck in the corner. This is on the field with 2 counters on it. Let's say you play an attack action, that's all you had left in your hand after blocking or whatever. At least you can end your turn with a rune chant token for the next turn. As we all know, that cost reduction sometimes comes in handy, and all you needed was that 1 more rune chant on board. This can help you get there. All right, next up is the Hit the High Note. Our boy over there at the Card Guys, Nathan Crawford. If you haven't done so, please just pause the video right now. Open up a separate tab by clicking on the link in the description, the Card Guys. Right there, you're going to see Nathan Crawford belting his heart out. It was absolutely beautiful. Anyway, this is a 1 cost, 4 attack, 3 block that says if you've played or created an aura this turn, this gets +2. This is immediately coming into the deck, and I'm taking out Red Shrill of the Skull form. Please don't ask me why. Actually, I'll tell you why. The reason why is because this costs 1 resource less, does 1 damage less, and that's all a good trade-off. I'm okay with that trade. The fact that I can just tuck this in Arsenal, hold on to a blue pitch into Grasp, swing in with Hit the High Notes for 6 physical and 1 arcane off of a single blue pitch is amazing. Sure, it doesn't have that breakpoint that Shrill does on the back of a Mob Skies. Things that this card can do, you would need a Tunic counter up or have to hold on to more cards. I love this card so much. I think this is fantastic. And again, another great card to lead into a Nebula Blade swing. All right, so next up we've got Hocus Pocus, which is just in time for the spooky season. It's a 0 cost, 3 attack, 3 block that says when this attacks, create a rune chant token. It couldn't be more cut and dry than that, right? Like when this attacks, just make a rune chant token. Really, really nice. I've heard some talkings of people in the Discord saying, you know, I'd cut a blue Arcanic Crackle for a blue Hocus Pocus, and I understand that because as Viserai players, as Vinset players, we tend to want the rune chant more than we want the 1 arcane damage on our Arcanic Crackle. So that makes a lot of sense. I really, really like this with a buff on it, but I truly believe that I don't think you'll see this outside of limited formats unless someone wants to make like a really low to the ground Viserai list, like super aggro list, then maybe, but I just don't see how that's viable in today's economy. You know what I'm saying, Zen? Anyway, so yeah, this is still a great card. I think this is going to come in clutch in limited. This next one is Rune Rager Swarm, which was a card that I had the great honor of spoiling this afternoon. And this is a 0 cost, 3 attack, 3 block that says if you've played or created an aura this turn, this gets Go Again. We needed so desperately some more Go Again keywords on our cards. We've been so heavily reliant on Mavrian Skies doing the thing to just make us have 2 cards on the field sometimes. And this, I could pitch to Grasp, play this out, carry about my turn if I have just kind of a meh hand. and this helps us kind of keep things trucking along. I mean, there's also just ways that you can manipulate this with Runic Reckoning, I believe is the name of the card. Yes, Runic Reckoning, to give this a little bit of a buff so that it's coming in for 6. If you want to get it a little spicy, throw in a Nimbleism or something, but or the card that we were just looking at a second ago, the Slaughter card, the buff there. You could do something like that to kind of get this up to standard. Regardless, I love Go Again on Runeblade cards, so I'm gonna find a place for this. Maybe cut some card somewhere, but we'll cross that bridge someday. But that is Rune Rager Swarm. All right, next up we've got Arcane Cussing. Our good boy over there, Sloop Dupe, giving us the history, the whole rundown of the Runeblade class. So this is a 1-cost, 2-block aura that says, Go Again. When you deal or are dealt damage, destroy this. When this leaves the arena, during your turn, create 3 rune chant tokens. Now here's here's one of the conclusive pieces to destroying auras. You would want to destroy this so that you can gain the benefit of those 3 rune chant tokens. And this also gives your opponent kind of like a damn, should I do my instant speed shenanigan, forcing them to take damage during their turn because they're just going to benefit from it? Well, if they don't, they're going to have to still stare down that same barrel in some capacity, because if my attack hits them, I'm still going to make the 3 rune chants. So go off, do your thing, Stormstriders. I'm going to make some rune chants. And if you decide to let it hit, I'm still going to make the rune chant. So there's a damned if you do, damned if you don't, in a tiny micro dose of a little bit of a vial that Arcane Cussing is giving Runeblades that agency to say, do the thing, fine, I'll get benefited from it. We don't have a lot of cards like that currently, so I love to see this kind of flavor start to be introduced into the Runeblade class. This is definitely up there, and again, it's an aura, so Sonata Galaxia can go and fetch this card. More things for Sonata Galaxia to go and find is a win in my book. All right, so last and certainly not least, Deadwood Durge. This is a 0-cost, non-attack action card. This is a common, my friends. This blocks for 2. It says destroy an aura you control if you do create 3 rune chant tokens. This has to be one of my favorite cards because I have an OTK heart. And my good friend Adam, who's coined the term Turtle Burst, and myself on a variant of that deck, this Scrooge McRune deck, is just all about stacking rune chants really fast and then popping off as soon as possible. This helps you get there so much faster. It's not just to read the runes dead in the hand. I can't do anything afterwards. This has Go Again. So, I mean, on the surface, at the floor, if you just wanted to do what bare minimum you could, you play this, destroy 1 rune chant, and net 2. So you would get back up to 3 by destroying 1. But also, I don't know the ceiling, but the current ceiling right now is playing out Arcane Cussing. Let's see, let's pull it back up. Playing out Arcane Cussing has Go Again. Playing out Deadwood Durge, this has Go Again. But actually, as I play this, I'm going to choose to destroy Arcane Cussing. That's going to see that it's been destroyed on my turn. I'll make 3 rune chants. Deadwood Durge is going to say, thank you so much for making a sacrifice for me. Here's 3 more rune chants, please. And then Viscerize trigger is going to happen, and he's going to bestow upon you a 7th rune chant, and all of this for a single resource. And Go Again. So I think that the combo wombo that these 2 cards, Arcane Cussing and Deadwood Durge, have is just really special, especially for someone like Vincent, who can just runegate after runegate on cards like this. Really good card. Cannot wait to see it in action and kind of start to craft a deck kind of around it, to be honest with you. Well, that does it, folks, for day 1 of spoiler season, featuring a majority of just generic Runeblade cards. I'm hyped. I hope you're hyped. And if you are, let me know down in the comment section which of these cards you're the most hyped on, because I'd love to talk about it. Until next time, I'll see you later.